Welcome to the Starting Over podcast. I am your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is where we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. It is quite cold. We are now entering the winter season, and it's quite interesting here. 39 degrees outside, and I'm inside, and it feels like 39 degrees. Anyway, today's topic is we're going to go back to some basics. And I know some of you might be like, oh, no gimmicks or anything crazy today. No, we're going to go back to some basics. And what I want to do is introduce you to a training regimen. Now, what's going to be odd is this episode is going to be broken up into a whole bunch of different parts. And you might be tempted to say like, oh, well, I just want to watch this one part or this other part. I really encourage you to watch it all. And so much so, if someone could PM me on how to do like you can watch one video to another on YouTube, I will definitely do it like that just to make it easy for you. Okay? All right. What we're going to do today is training. Now, previously we've talked about teams, we've talked about shenanigans, we've talked about all sorts of cool things on this show. But one thing I sort of noticed is that there's a lot of podcasts on how to play heroclix. You can find tons of YouTube videos on this is what these powers do, and this is an example, and here's a visual example, blah, 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 blah. Glass Cabinet Films has some. There's just tons. Okay, so let's throw those to where they belong. They are introductory. If you're listening to the show, you most likely don't need to know how powers work. Okay, you know what leap climb does. You know what hypersonic speed does. You know what mind control does. You know what everything does. All right, so let's take steps back and say, all right, we don't need to know training. Boom. We don't need to know what powers do. But what we do need to do is focus on specific powers. Ooh, this is something that we haven't really heard too much in the community. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a regimen so that you can sort of grow in each sort of area of using that specific power, and also trying to make them come together as a team. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at all the powers, and I'm going to have a little part for each of them. All right. And then we're going to create a little training regimen for each power. Now, mind you, special powers will have its own total section. So don't be like, well, you don't have special powers on movement and defense and special powers on attack and then traits and blah, blah, blah. All that jazz is going to be into one grand song and dance, okay? So what we're going to do is I want you to listen to the introductions. I want you to listen to the power reviews, and then we are going to take it from there. Now, note, this is going to be a very long, maybe mildly tedious exercise, but I really do encourage you to go through all of the powers and sort of, train with me. Okay, just train with me. All right, so this is the introduction. And what I want you to do is once you're finished looking at all those powers, I want you to come back to this. All right, and we're just going to have the basic instruction. You need to ask yourself the following things. Can I grow from here? What did I learn? What are my biggest weaknesses when using this power? What are my biggest annoyances when using this power? What are the best things about this power that I like with my play style? And how have I seen others use this power with their play style? I want you to ask yourself these questions every time you finish the section. Okay? Now, note, you don't necessarily need a partner to do this with, but it is sort of convenient to have another partner there so you can play it with, and that they can give their 2 cents on. It would also be beneficial if you're both training on the same power. If you're not training on the same power, that's fine as well, but it would be beneficial so that you could both have better feedback with this. All right. Now, what I really want you to do is I want to have you focus on the main tenements of testing and training. First of all, no matter your skill level, I want you to have a modern version of the pack in front of you. Okay? That's power and abilities card, people. All right. Next, what I want you to do is not sort of say, oh, I use mind control, but I mainly had a hypersonic speed attacker running around doing all my damage. I want you to have the focal point of your team be that power in the use of that power. It's not the only thing that you can have on that team, mind you, so every character doesn't eat leap climb. But I want you to find creative ways of using leap climb. If you need to bring in a specific map or even try to find a team that creates a special situation where leap climb is, really awesome. I want you to do that. Okay? So, listen to this whenever you need to just to get a refresher, and we're going to go to the first part now.